There we go. We're back, and we are, as we said, in Brazil. And what were we expecting here? Go on, give us some little deeds.
An incredibly close session. There's nothing more like. We're going to see quite a few invalidations. I would be so shocked if we don't. And in general, it's going to be, look at this already coming out the pit lane. Look how tight that is. We're going to have this all session. Drivers wanting to maximize every single second. This is a short session. This isn't like in other leagues sometimes where you have a half-hour practice session. This is 18 minutes. This is either you are in SRC Season 2 or you are not. There's no extra playoff rounds or anything. This is make or break. You have to be... You just have to maximize everything you can get out of this. And I think we're going to see a lot of drivers making mistakes. They're going to be making a lot of mistakes. And I honestly can't even begin to predict what is going to happen here.
Well, the first one out is Gibbs. He is in the Alfa Romeo. He's just coming around the final chicane. One thing to note, if the teams play this out correctly, which none of them have, you could have your teammate help you with a bit of slipstream. I believe that the rules, we are allowing it, so we'll see if that comes into play. But Gibbs will be the first one to start his time to lap. Do you want to quickly run through another hot lap?
Yep, may as well. So, as I said before, you go down using fourth gear. I think we saw Ronhai using third gear at turn 1 on the apex, but now when you're on the throttle, you want to keep quite a tight line going through turn 3 just to minimise the actual travelling distance, then go to the left-hand side of the track. And then you're in fourth gear early on the throttle as quickly as possible. And this is where we could see a couple of mistakes. Drivers getting a bit too greedy, getting on the grass and just making a mistake. A bit of a lock-up on the front left. It's small things like that that are going to be the difference between qualifying and not qualifying for these teams. I think it's worth a quick mention of how the average times are working. Well, it's average times, that's what it is. So the average for each team, and then it's ranked in the top 7 and they will go through. So that's just a quick mention of what that is. So now coming down into the hairpin. Not using first gear, but third gear on the exit when you get the throttle down. Not using too much of the curb on the left-hand side. We will see a couple of drivers get caught out there. Now, this is where it is make or break for the lap, because everything can be lost in this final chicane. It's slow, and you think, oh, there's not a lot of time to be lost there, but oh boy, is there. And I've got to say that Gibbs negotiated that quite well, so let's see what this lap time is.
It's like a decent 114.5, but following straight after him will be Marvin. Marvin will take a 114.3, but Vintino will a 114.34, so they're coming in fast. Got on screen now, and this is Cringe, who's coming round into the final section. Jack RT put in a 114.3, Chandler 114.3. We're seeing quite low 114s right now.
Yeah.
Is Cringe on a good lap? It seems to be decent. 113, 114, 1! Oh!
114, 1. Wow.
I think
what a lap.
We looked past Sync when our pre-talks. We weren't saying, oh yeah, he's going to put in like the best of laps, but this guy...
Raceway's gone third as well.
Yeah, so that's brilliant immediately for VRT, for having Jack RT and Raceway in second and third. Jonas, I think he actually, because we're riding on board with him, he didn't actually have a lap time. I thought they all came out at once.
I think Nico's giving it another go here as well. Nico's just set at 125, so I assume he's backed out near the end of that lap and is going for it again. So let's see if Nico for BMG can improve and join Chandler up there in fourth. Yep. We have a yellow flag. I think that's for cars getting out of the way. I think that might have been Sizzler maybe.
Yeah,
he's coming in the pits.
They will have roughly 3 runs. We're looking at Jonas, TSR Jonas, a name that does ring a lot of bells. I think, but do believe he was in. Yeah, he's the semi-finalist. So do keep an eye out. This guy does know how to race, and he's deciding to not take the lap.
Yeah, I think what that could be maybe is. I'm not actually 100% sure, unless he's just not happy with the tyre warm-up maybe. I'm not 100% sure why you come in. I guess it's a timeless thing. He's realised if he does do this lap, he might not be able to get another 2 runs in. But I think he would, mathematically. I think there's a good chance, but it would be a bit tight. I think a bit too much of a risk. If you've put a little bit of extra wear on those tyres, just come in the pits. If you're not sure, just come straight in. You've got enough tyres. You're not using them in a race, so you can get through as many as you want.
That is very true. I think also Jonas invalidated his lap. I just realised, hence why he's not got a lap time.
Oh, that's a lot of invalidations already. Wow. It's got Dylan. Well, I think most of these would have been on outlaps, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Buraps, Hunted, I think, yeah.
I think a lot of them will be.
Yeah, Abdullah. Oh, no, he did get a lap in. Yeah, so I think most of them were outlaps. Anyway, drive. Go. This is how quick tonight is going to be. It's drivers coming in and out of the pits, and not all of them are going to be in sync either, so this should be pretty good.
Not necessarily in sync. The next one to going to be setting a lap will be Easton from the RSF1. I believe that's their team name, because Big Abdullah does not have his team name, but here we go. He's trying to take as much speed into the final corner, because even that final corner, getting that start is critical on this lap, and on this track, sorry.
Oh, it definitely is. There's easily a couple attempts to be earned down the straight. If you mess up that final corner, you get a little bit of wheel spin, you're going to be hemorrhaging time, and that's there we go.
Ooh.
That is Easton under a lot of pressure all of a sudden. It mounts on you. You think you've got loads of time left, loads of laps left, and then all of a sudden you get hit with invalidation right off the bat. That's extra tyre wear if he wants to use his tyres again as well, so that will naturally be a slower lap time as well.
Next who crossed the start-finish line from their outlap, I think it was actually Gibbs, but we're going to follow TSR Marvin. TSR having a brilliant season, Marvin being the kind of second driver to Jonas. He is also in the Contenders Championship. I think it was start of 2020, so it was 2019-2020 Marvin was. Don't know if he's doing it this year, but either way, drivers keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I think he's slightly made a little bit of a mistake there. He's put in too much steering lock. Well, he's been forced to put in more steering lock than he would have wanted, because I think he got a little bit greedy on the throttle potentially there, because that looked like a lot of steering turn 4. So that's a scrubbing speed off all through that corner there.
Now, the area where I find most invalidations can happen, negotiates it perfectly fine into the very few, there's not many heavy braking zones, but this one does screw you over massively. And I think he is possibly down on his time. Now, of course, there's track evolution, so the track will slowly gain a bit more grip here and there, as Marvin does get a bit of wheel spin out of that first curb. I don't think this will be the strongest for Marvin, it is an improvement.
Okay. That does tell us, though, there's definitely time in this track at the moment, because that was by no means a perfect lap. Really good lap, don't get me wrong, not bad. And then Chandler straight away, he sets a 14-0. So the first one to dip into the 14-0s. Who's going to be first in the 13s? That'll be interesting. Will we get it on the second run? I think we'll definitely get it in the third, but the second one, let's see.
Yep, we're currently on board with
EQ. There we go.
There we go, yeah, Jonas. Of course it'd be Jonas. I was going to say, we're on board with Matty for EQR. They're currently down in 15th and 16th, so they really need to put something in the pace. As I said, this is a newer team, a newer driver's only been together for about 1 or 2 months as of right now. He does improve, but he doesn't gain in a position. His teammate has invalidated, though.
Yeah, it's not ideal at all. That's an understatement. But I've just seen something weird that Critch was doing. He's just driven on the grass, like he was going to enter the pit lane, then chose not to. But the lap was invalidated anyway, so I'm slightly confused as to what's going on there. I think he might be slowing down to give... what's happened to Nico there?
Invalidated, and he decided to come out a bit later, so... He has slowed down. He possibly could make another run on these tyres, but...
Yeah, I think he might be. There's definitely... Time-wise, he can definitely get another run in. But fuel-wise, that's another question.
To be honest, you can make it work. I have done it. I've put in a banker lap on mediums on different tracks, but... Yeah, who's that? That's Cringe. He's invalidated, but he's pushing hard. So I think he's trying to get into the pits fast.
Too hard.
Yep, nearly lost it. He's still drifting a bit. Talking of Sync, Sync is currently in 5th and 8th.
Is Matty on a hot lap? Or an in lap? Oh, okay, he's on the lap. I was going to say, because that's definitely holding him up if he's not.
Possibly. Easton is the only one who's not completed a lap. Now, he came out a bit later.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily go with a full punch at the very start. So I'm intrigued to see what this guy can do. His teammate is currently in 11th, in Big Abdul, with a 114.4. So can he... help his team get a bit higher up in here, because that's what we're looking at. We're only looking at lap times. We're looking at what they can do.
Yeah, Nico's made a mistake at turn 2. I think he's just got a little bit too much of the curb there and lost the rear end a little bit. It's not invalid, so I think he definitely could go. And he's a 10th and a half down, I think, on this. Yeah, he's got wheel spin again, so I think Nico's definitely coming in this lap, and a big lock up for good measure as well.
Easton locks up his front left going into the hairpin. Is able to keep it going, but you need to be closer to that curb. Stick to it. You need to stick to that curb a lot more. Coming into probably the slowest section, he does have traffic, so hopefully they can either just put their foot down or get out the way. They decide to put their foot down. 110, 111, it's looking good. 113, it's a high 114.
Yeah, it's not ideal. That's... yeah, but there's still time to improve. There's still another lap to go at. I think you're right, but I think for Easton here, it's just a matter of getting a time on the board. Once you have that first lap, you do alleviate a bit of the pressure, because as we said before, it'd be mounting. After you invalidate that, you're kicking yourself, you're downbeat, you've lost just a little bit of ego over it, you know. That is a big thing with race drivers. You need a big ego. You need to think that you can do it. So to, make a little bit of a mistake one time, you just need something to fix it a bit, and I think that has helped him. He'll probably go quicker next time out.
He's got to get into the pits very quickly. We're on board with Zilla. For this will be SRT. Now, SRT was in the last season, did fairly well, I believe. I'm not sure exactly on positions. Chat if you want to fill in the deeds, because we don't... I've got an OBS open. I can't do those fact checks. And, oh, no, understeer.
Ooh.
Understeer cost him badly.
Yep. Chandler's on a lap if you want to look at that one.
Ooh, absolutely. Currently, his teammates in 9th, BMG Nico. I wouldn't say it's a bad lap from Nico, 114.4, but Chandler with 114.0. He's going to be looking to take out Jonas and say, I am the man in this relationship. As he comes into the hairpin.
He's slightly down.
He's able to get that time back, though.
That's a little bit dodgy.
I spoke too soon. Spoke too soon.
Yeah.
What does
we'll see though.
Go on.
We'll see.
I was gonna
As
say
he finishes his lap now. Yeah, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say the sausage curbs weren't gonna help, but no, he's actually deciding against it. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's a case of looking at the delta. You know, you're not proved coming to the pits. I think that was actually a lap on already 1 lap worn tyres. So I think in his defence that he might be having another go now.
Vizzy. Is it Vizzy or Vizzy?
I think Vizzy. I think Vizzy.
Vizzy.
Yeah.
For the Brazilian team of it's Formula X, isn't it? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes again. Formula X Brazil. They're not doing. I do apologise for that. I just hit my notepad on the keyboard. As we were saying, Vizzy is currently on 13th. His teammate up in 8th with a 114.4. Vizzy with a 114.5. So they're quite close to each other. A reasonable amount of pace. They need to put in a better time to get an attempt of qualifying. As I said, it's only just come through the scene change, so I do apologise. As we're rounding the final couple of corners, is this neat, in your opinion?
It's okay. I think he's probably going to improve here. He's keeping on with the lap as well, so I think definitely that does indicate that Delta's green at the moment. Let's see where he goes. Yeah, that's a big improvement, 10th place. Yeah, it was a fairly neat lap. A couple of small mistakes in there that would have cost him maybe a 10th or 2 overall, but I think overall that's an alright lap.
Yep, I don't think Dylan is coming in because he is plus 7.7 on his delta. Jonas has just come out of the pits, so we'll keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, down at the bottom, and I believe on a lap, he is improving. Matty in 17th, teammate Hunted in 18th, doing a 114.7. So we'll give it. It is a respectable time at 114.7 around this track.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's the thing we have to remember here. All of these drivers are very good. There's nothing about that. These are all really good drivers. Someone, yeah, okay, no. But someone has to be last. That's the thing. That is the nature of competition. Somebody always has to come last, and you just have to try your hardest to not make it be you.
Absolutely, and of course, this EQR team, as I said, is very new, so with a bit of practice, come that next season, which shouldn't be too long, essentially, we might see... go on,
Chandler starting again, if you want to hop on.
We're on board with his teammate Nico at the moment, so we'll hop on.
Okay, sorry, he's on a hot lap, you're right.
Yeah, we'll hop onto him a bit later. But yeah, it is a new team, as Nico does keep it within those white lines, just.
Yeah, it's just about on the edge, that's where you want to be.
Living on the edge, life on the road.
And he is up.
Go on.
Yeah, he's up by a 10.5, so let's see. Oh, that's a... yeah, that's not ideal. That left-hand side curve, it just catches drivers out. That's what happens. There's a weird bump there. You set up your suspension to treat it a little bit better, but you sacrifice time throughout the rest of the lap then. So let's see if Nico can keep it clean at the end of this lap. All he needs to do realistically is improve by a couple of tenths, and I think it's a really good sign. He's keeping right-hand side of the track, and he does improve up into 7th place, and that's a good time for Nico at 14 points.
Chandler's improving. Chandler is improved. I just saw his delta was, it was 0 point something. Didn't get the exact numbers, but it is an improvement. Big Abdul needs to get out of the way fast, but no Abdul. Oh, Chandler's got a huge amount of oversteer because of that lovely sausage curb. How badly has that affected his time? 1:13. Oh, he does improve by 4,000th of a second. As Marvin's
gone second as well.
Yeah. Marvin was just a bit further ahead as we're coming into the last 20 seconds. So essentially...
Challenge validated as well. So yeah, he's gone.
So it's a case of the last couple of drivers. Who's coming around that final corner? It is Burrups, sorry. No, it's not. Where is he? It is. He's just luckily got himself the last spot. So who's coming across the line? It is going to be not one of the synced drivers. It is, I believe that could be Nico crossing the line first.
Yeah, looks that way.
Yeah,
I'm on board with him. He's not going to improve his way down.
Yeah, definitely not a strong time, as crossing the line will be a few others. Though I believe there's a slight glitch.
Ah, yes. I believe this is the glitch where you can carry on and set another lap. So I don't know whether these laps are going to count or not.
We'll definitely have words as coming across the line in a bit will be Joker. Though he is massively down on his time. Jack RT on a hot lap? You on a hot lap? You are, but very early.
Raceway's down on his lap by a 10.5, so I don't think he's going to improve, but he is coming around now, not keeping it tight to the right-hand side of the track, and he does not improve.
I believe it's possible. We're going to definitely see the glitch. We're going to wait until we get some notice on if we're going to allow those laps to happen. We're currently on board with Jack RT, a name that definitely rings a bell in the WR scene for sure. Tier 1 driver and driving for VRT. And he's got...
Oh, Critch! What a lap!
Oh! Wow! And oh! Oh, it's just Jack RT's gone into Easton! Oh, no!
No.
Watch that happen!
Right, I did not.
That was horrible, ladies and gents. There we go. Sat here saying, oh, the replay system's not going to happen. But it's
right.
All this is Easton just wasn't. She came back on the track at the completely wrong time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's gone very, very badly wrong, and I think the stewards will be having a look at that one.
Absolutely. And yes, ladies and gents, as of this season, we will be implementing a replay system for you at home to kind of get the idea. Well, basically just improve the feel of the entire scene. But, do you want to run through the list? Do the honours?
Yeah, we can do a quick rundown now, once the results come back on. But I think that was as close as we expected, really. Obviously, there's going to be a bit field spread, but overall, it's ridiculously close. If you look at that midfield, they are separated by thousands. So, though the winner of Lobby 1, I guess, is TSR Jonas, and what a lap that is, by over a 10.5, a 13.7. Then Critch really well on a 13.9. Only 2 drivers down in the 13s. I was expecting a bit more than that. Then Marvin in third, Chandler for BMG, and then VRT Raceway and Jack RT fifth and sixth. Nico, Joker, Vitinho, Abdullah. That's the top 10, and I'd say those drivers are the only ones with a chance of qualifying. Realistically, look at it. If you have a quick look down at the bottom half of the grid, Burraps, Gibbs, Dylan, Vizzy, Sizzler, Easton, with very controversial collision, Matty, and Hunted LAX.